This is an after-school program podcast.
What key are we in, G?
Yeah. Guys, stop the applause. Stop it. Guys, stop it. No. Too much.
For the record, we were hanging out in here 2 minutes before we had to come, and then we were like, "Hey, let's go hide in this room, and then we'll come out and see if we can make like a big entrance." And hey, exactly as planned.
Yeah. We started the show in a basement. That's true.
And now we're in a coffee shop.
Well, it went basement, your office, church, coffee shop.
Church to a coffee shop, yeah. It finally ended up in church after the show almost ended. And then we were like, well, why don't we keep it going in an actual church? And then one of our guests, who is now the executive producer of the show, allowed that to happen. And here we are.
Yeah, shout out to Robert.
I was going to say Pastor Michael, but the pastor of the church.
Well, Robert's the one who convinced us not to stop doing the podcast.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
But also, shout out to Pastor Michael.
Shout out to Pastor Michael, one of the guests tonight. Hey, PD, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
What if we just talk like this the rest of the night and ignore everybody?
Nobody's even here. I've been dipping back into SpongeBob.
Okay.
What is that?
You left? Like you stopped? You dipped out of SpongeBob at some point in time?
I mean, nobody just like constantly watches SpongeBob.
So you're back in?
Yeah, I'm back in. The writing is there. There are callbacks. It's really good stuff.
Okay.
I was watching the episode where SpongeBob exits his dream somehow and then starts entering other people's dreams.
Yo, that's a good episode.
It's really
that's
good.
a great episode.
So Inception. SpongeBob did the first iteration of Inception.
Yeah, basically. But then he wakes up to find that everybody's surrounding him in his bed.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that's a felony for all that. But then Gary was around there too. I was like, he lives there. He could have let them in.
I love that we did a live show just for you to explain the whole plot of an episode of SpongeBob for everybody.
But I mean, I was thinking like, who do I side with there? The people who broke in, or I mean, SpongeBob, he entered their dreams though, so he did the first breaking and entering.
Okay. Oh man, I feel like my intro now doesn't top it. I'm Shama, and today I had the thought that it's funny when you fall until a certain age, then it's concerning. Like if you're like 22 and you trip and fall, it's like but then if you're a little older and you fall, then you have to go, hey, you have to make a phone call and you have to go, hey, Paul David fell this morning. Remember my 72-year-old best friend who I used to do a podcast with? He fell.
I've got this scar right here.
Yeah. But that was funny though. But I'm saying like in about 50 years, if you fall, it's gonna be concerning. Like you can't just say it. It's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I mean it was funny on the podcast.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't as funny when I was getting stitches.
No. But hey, our life is content. Hey, do we want to introduce the people helping make this show possible?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, great. First of all, we have our producer, Andrew Simmons.
Woo!
Yo.
A lot of respect for Andrew. Andrew's one of those guys who saw a ragtag group of people and was like, hey, why don't I use my expertise on you? And we as children are like, thanks, Papa.
Papa Andrew.
Then we have Chase in a new corner. I said new twice. It's a new corner. Chase, how you doing?
Pretty bad. Yeah, I saw Pastor Puppet before we started.
Oh!
He punched me in the face. and then
typical Pastor Puppet greeting.
He got real close and he whispered and he said, the book of Revelation is funnier than you.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, and then he walked away singing Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana.
All right. Oh, and then we also have the man, the myth, the legend. He was in the first 5 episodes of the show, and he's also he was the man who was tickling the ivories for the theme song, Mr. Scott Bachman.
Yeah.
Woo. I don't know when, but we need to do a Christmas event that is us all just silently listening to you play Christmas music the whole time. Just like this. Nobody claps between songs or anything. We just stare and we enjoy like some type of weird French museum or something. And that just happens the whole time.
It's art, dude.
Yeah. Hey, do we want to bring our first guest up?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Wait. Do we do the NBA?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give him the treatment. We'll give him the treatment. Our guest is the owner of this coffee shop.
He was on our podcast not too long ago. And he's back again, and he's bringing his own mug. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Williams.
What's going on, everybody?
How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing good.
You can adjust the microphone, Josh.
Oh, thank you. It was
Yeah.
on the other side earlier.
Yeah. Welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
Lot
Thank
of-
you. It's a great space. I love it. First time here.
Hey, leave a good review, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the reviews.
Josh, lot of rips in your jeans.
A lot of rips. Yeah. Tried weed whacking for the first time.
Yeah.
Did not go well.
Not it.
I think I'm done.
Oh man, dude, I saw a hipster the other day who was, no joke, ponytail, sunglasses, thick mustache, tight jeans, boots, mowing a lawn the other day. Legit, and he had like a truck and a trailer.
I think that was
his
Steven.
thing. It was it?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
Steven.
who it was.
Yeah.
Do you know
He
him?
applied here.
Golly, man, I just thought that guy like is so committed to hipsterdom that he was like, I know, I'm running a lawn care service right now, but it's not. This is how I roll.
I think there is something, though, about the age of people when they get to a certain level. Like, if I'm going to mow the grass, I'm wearing like shorts, t-shirt,
Yeah.
something like that. My neighbor, who's about like 20 years older, she has like a specific outfit she wears.
Uh-huh.
It's like cargo khaki shorts, like a polo, and like a hat with like high socks.
Yeah.
And then like my grandfather would wear like full khakis and like a button down. So I think it's just whatever.
A tie,
Yeah.
a cross pin in the middle of
He's
the tie.
selling Bibles while he's doing it.
Oh man. Well, welcome to the show, Josh.
Thank you for having me back.
I feel like also thank you for letting us use the space as well.
Somebody should be here.
Hey,
I've got a coffee shop owner question for you.
Let's do it.
What
profit
age,
margins go.
what age range makes for the worst customers?
Oh. Huh.
This has turned into 60 minutes.
Yeah. There's a sweet spot and then there's a sour spot on either side of
no.
that.
Is it the people who don't get that this drink costs $6.50 because
Yeah,
they're both-
there's that on either side. Then there's we had a weird section of college age. I love our college students. There's a weird section of them that would just like not order and sit here for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then there was like this section of like 64-year-old women who would do the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not really an age thing. It's just more of a sitting thing.
Right.
For Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's worse is when you tell them like, hey, we got to share the Wi-Fi. They're like, oh, I'm not using it. I'm just reading a book.
Really?
Like, oh,
Gosh.
do that somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So do you get a lot of church staff in here?
We do.
Who's the worst? I mean, I'm talking.
Oh, man.
I mean, I want to. I'm guessing youth pastors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a bunch of youth pastors that'll come in and, especially once they learn that I was in ministry, it's like there's a secret code that they know that can bypass a tip and be like, but like, we fought together in the trenches. And I was like, yeah, cool. Don't know you.
It's like it's church staff vets. Is that the
Yeah.
thing? They're like, hey, do you do a church staff vet discount here?
Andrew, was it you that was working with me the other day? We had that big staff come in.
Yeah, no, that wasn't me. Was that Eric?
I don't remember who it was.
It was me. It was me.
Yeah, it was
Chase.
Chase, who worked with us for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
No, they ordered, I don't know what church they were from or anything like that, but they ordered like 15 drinks to take back with them. 0 tip.
Oh.
And then, which like isn't the worst thing in the world, but also just like common courtesy for all you people. Tip people. If there's a tip option, that typically means they're doing a little bit more than you can see. And I went up, another guy came up to order another drink. And I was like, oh, so you guys work for a church? And he goes, yeah. And I go, interesting. He was like, yeah, we're done. I was like, okay, cool.
But if you can't tip, just write, we fought in the trenches.
Oh,
on the tip line.
yeah, that's on the tip line.
That is still so much better than the tracks. Leaving the tracks instead of a.
Yeah.
You work in food. Isn't it the worst when the dollar bill tract is still the worst when you see it from afar on the table?
Yes.
You're like, oh man, that looks like a 10.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great. And you get closer.
Oh, yeah,
and you go, that looks like $1,000. We don't make $1,000 bill.
Yet.
Yes.
Dude, I used to work at a restaurant, and we used to have a guy who would come in and leave those money tracks on the urinals. On top of, as if somebody would be there and then find Jesus.
Can you imagine that testimony video?
Yeah, you're like, no. Hey, it doesn't work.
I was broken. I was at my lowest point.
My lowest point.
And there I was.
In Bojangles.
In Bojangles. And I filled up my sweet tea again. And the Lord spoke.
Yeah. But honestly,
Amen.
as an employee, a $7.25 an hour employee at the time, nothing made me madder. I was also a Christian too, but I'm like crumbling up tracts and I'm throwing them in the trash. Is that a sin? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Hey, he was asking.
I don't know. I
Is
really
it-
am. Is it blasphemy?
This is the first live audience.
Yeah, you can actually get
All right,
feedback, guys.
shout yes or no in 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yay! I think there's just something about like the idea of tipping being like superfluous and like not needed when it's like, normally your baristas, they're training so hard. The waiters are remembering orders, stuff like that. And the audacity to say, hey, look, I know that you're probably wanting to get food tonight, but you know what's better than that? This piece of paper that I'm not going to explain to you, but I'm going to leave quietly.
My favorite, when I keep playing, Mr. Scott, keep playing for this story. My favorite is when I used to deliver pizza. When it was cold, sometimes I wouldn't, I'd be in and out of a car. I'd wear the Papa John's polo or whatever. I said the name. Or sometimes I wear the jacket. And if I wasn't wearing a jacket, sometimes the only tip I got was, hey, stay warm.
Wear a jacket, it's cold out.
Oh, shoot, thanks. Wow. Thanks. And immediately, you know how it works is when somebody tells you stay warm, you immediately get warm. That's how the human body works. Actually, you immediately, your brain just kind of puts it all together.
I mean, again, same thing with using tip money for food.
Yeah.
It's not needed.
Yeah, but it works.
Hey, I did read a great Yelp review recently.
For where?
It was for the place I work.
Did you write it?
No, I didn't write it, and it was negative.
All of a sudden, there's an audience at BD's like, I read a great review that I had nothing to do with.
I had nothing.
I don't even know.
I actually didn't this time. This is not a Cedric review.
Okay.
But the person, it was accidentally like this great double meaning. She said short and stalky, like STALKY.
About what?
Well, about somebody I work with. I'm pretty sure they meant stocky, but they said stalky. So I'm like, well, yeah, they do kind of creep around. So it works both ways.
They could be referring to like the VeggieTales side of things
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
celery stalk,
Yeah.
and it could go deeper.
Totally. Comparing somebody that I work with to celery. That's definitely what
I don't know
happened.
which is worse.
I don't know what it is. There's something about, as a person who's made my fair share of typos, something about a typo that immediately ruins anything. Like I heard, I can't remember, I think it's like Jerry Seinfeld who said it. You could be telling a great joke, but if you say you immediately kind of mess it up. All of a sudden, it's like it just doesn't work, and we don't know what happens between the mess up, the mess up and the joke.
Yeah.
You just reword it, and all of a sudden people are like, nah, that timing. Even a toddler's like, that timing of that knock joke didn't work.
Did you ever see the show AP Bio?
I have not, no.
There's one episode where he's trying to do like this like huge like lecture, and he says that, and he descends into pure madness trying to figure out what happens, and it turns into like the Shining movie.
Well, watch closely and see if it happens to anybody tonight.
Yeah, so that episode.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh.
It's starting.
Guys, check out Josh. Josh, when did you get? I feel like I had you on. We had you on the show, and we're like, we're gonna talk about cohesive and coffee, and then we didn't. We just talked about Burn Notice for about 45 minutes and pulled up.
Which I won't lie, I got I think it's Peacock.
Yeah.
It's my next show to watch now. Go all the way through
Oh,
it.
God, just cracking. What is it called? Freaking. Oh my gosh, flip phones in the trash can. I feel like that's all that show was.
That's all it was.
Was picking up the phone in a blazer, cracking
What
it in
was
half
that
and throwing it
show's
away.
phone budget?
I don't know, man. Somebody somewhere made a fortune.
I've got issues with Peacock.
The streaming service.
Yes.
Or the
whole-
animal.
or the-
The whole stream. I mean, it's all negated by the fact that they let me have Tracy Morgan as my profile picture.
Okay.
True.
But I mean, this just it doesn't work well.
The service.
It works
Tracy
better.
Morgan as your.
It works better than it did last year
Oh,
when
is
the
it really
Psych
bad?
movie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could only watch it via the computer.
Oh, wow.
Great access.
Yeah. Hey, you'd think that people would do better rollouts in this time of year, but no, not really.
We were all home. What were they supposed to do?
They're like, "Do you want the Psych movie?"
Can you
was
play
good.
some bumper music real quick? We are brought to you by Peacock.
They gave us $4.99, which also cost.
Yeah. Do you want a
month.
streaming?
You had the NP on lock.
That was
If you want a
great.
streaming service that's adequate,
I don't
meh,
know.
sign
Yeah,
up today.
Peacock.
If you want to shut down your computer after trying to go back 15 seconds, then Peacock is for you.
There should be somebody who descends into madness after trying to go back 15 seconds, because some apps do that, and all of a sudden you're on a whole different episode of the show, and you're like, "What?"
I am
happened?
now a subscriber of Peacock Plus because
Oh.
the Boss Baby movie came out,
How d-
and I have a 6-year-old daughter, so obviously now I
You
am.
watch it.
Yeah, so now we have it. It was the hardest thing in the world just to give them money.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I did it, and then it was like, all right, we'll get back with you. Just waiting with the remote in my hand. It's like, I guess.
Did you have to like hit them up like, "Hey, what up?" And they're like,
So I had
"Not
to-
much. You, hey, give me my subscription."
I had to go to a parking garage, and I waited. I flashed my lights 4 times.
Yeah, 4 times.
And then a guy came out with his own phone, and I had to plug it into his phone.
How many times do your children watch Boss Baby?
We have
How
watched the new one. It came out, like 2 weeks ago? We've watched it like 4 times.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's
compared to
rookie
many
numbers.
others.
I was gonna say compared to my son Ezra, it's rookie
Yeah.
numbers. So you need to bring those up.
We've already watched Space Jam twice.
Okay.
It's awful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I can't believe they killed off
is
LeBron.
just LeBron James is just the
They killed
worst
off
actor.
LeBron?
Yeah. First 5 minutes.
That would have made it so much better.
I don't know why that joke works.
It's Russell Westbrook for the rest of the movie.
There was so little basketball in that movie, though.
Yeah. I
Like,
didn't watch it.
there was no basketball. You know, Space Jam 1, like, it took you to the arenas, and you saw, like, there's none of that. Nothing.
They don't have enough money nowadays. Those budgets, man. They're like, the best I could do is CGI LeBron full hairline, and
Basically, this was
computers
just
like go.
This was just a huge flex for Warner Brothers to try to compete with Disney as far as the, like, how many characters they have.
Yeah.
Because they just put a bunch of characters in, which I saw one guy that I'm Facebook friends with who's, like, super, super, super churchy. And he was getting super mad because they showed the Harry Potter character
in.
and the Game of Thrones character.
Oh,
He's
man.
like, this is a children's movie. They don't know who that is. And I was like, no, they're just flexing.
Yeah.
Where's Bible Man?
What other obscure characters do we own the rights to?
It was wild, man.
Yeah.
It was a decent movie. The
I
storyline
haven't
was
watched
okay.
it. I need to watch it.
I wouldn't go out of your way. Like, if you're on a plane and it's crashing,
Yeah. You're like, oh,
and
look at that.
it's a very slow crash, I would go for it. We will be just
slow crash.
That sounds like the worst IMDb review. Hey, for the record, how were we able to get in touch with you when you have Peacock Premium? How is that? How are you just
Yeah,
available? Where did your limo park, by the way?
Yeah. So I live here now because in order to pay for Peacock
Yeah, you're
Premium,
like,
I had to
listen,
sell
giving
everything.
up the house.
Yeah, I had to sell my children. So
Yeah.
it's sort of like the gift of the Magi. I had to sell the children
Yeah,
to get the
to get the
streaming
kid- to the
service
kids- the
for
kids
the
streaming
children.
service. Yeah.
I got premium too.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I can watch Monday Night Raw. That was-
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But
On
here's-
Peacock?
On Peacock, because there was a merger with NBC.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it lists it by season. I don't know like, it's by year. You know,
Oh,
it doesn't.
yeah,
I don't know what season 15 of Monday Night Raw is.
You know what? I just had a thought that I don't think I could accept any deal. You know, because I'm always just saying no to deals all the time.
Oh, for
from
sure.
Peacock because I don't think I want to tell people. Yeah, you could watch church stories on Peacock. Like you can't say a show on. It's only exclusively on Peacock.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah, 'cause it's kinda like,
Exclusively
all
on the hardest thing to find.
right. That's like Crackle. Do you remember Crackle or was it?
Oh my
Cackle,
gosh,
the Sony
Crackle,
stream?
yes.
Yeah. It's like,
That
yeah, I have
and,
a
like,
movie. I have a
Pluto.
movie on I knew an actor who was like, guys, check out my new Christian Western on Crackle. And I was like, no, I'm never going to touch Crackle.
Christian
Honestly, like,
Western.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Chase and Robert. Write that.
Guys, what do y'all do?
Put it in the
What do y'all
bowl.
do? Hey, write that. Christian Western, write that down. Black Cowboy, write that down.
We
would
got
like
it.
that.
We're on it. We're on it.
I would love sort of like
Horses,
aliens
right
versus
there.
cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
But Christian, but like
Baptist
the
versus
cross and the
Methodist.
switchblade with
Kanye.
Christian. Yeah.
yeah, it'd be
Kanye's
like
the
Baptist
leader.
versus Methodist.
We just pitched everything all at once there. And I hope somebody was writing that down.
This church ain't big enough for the both of us.
Oh man. Josh, how is it owning a coffee? How did you get in the coffee game?
How did I get into it? That's a great story.
You were in the church game for a minute.
Yes, so I was born into it.
Okay.
So I am a second generation church person. No, it's my dad. My dad is a missions pastor. He was a youth pastor when I was growing up until I became a youth myself, and then he couldn't do it.
Yeah, I can't out of here.
Yeah, I got it out. And then I went to Anderson with the sole intent of the only thing I would ever do in my life is music and worship, and I did that for like 10 years. And I thought I was doing pretty well, but the churches I was at disagreed. And so, you know,
Hey, same.
yeah. So after that ended here in town, this was probably about 5 years ago, I didn't have it in me anymore to do it again. And so I had no idea. I had no marketable skills whatsoever other than like I can play guitar mediocrely and I can sing okay and I'm nice.
Yeah.
And that didn't really work very well. So I would pass by this building. It's not this building, but somewhere else in Malden. And I would always be like, man, finally just one day I said to my wife, I was like, what would happen if I opened a coffee shop? And she's like the sane one of the group. Of the couple, like I'm the dreamer. She's sort of like the one that like is like, hey, that's doable. She just was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Huh.
And like she gave me room to fly. And 3 years later, we built this place, and we're about to celebrate our 2 years, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank
Right,
you.
give it up for Josh,
Thank you.
y'all. Yeah.
So yeah, we survived COVID somehow.
Yeah.
Which was nice because I got to watch Tiger King on this very couch. Because we had, I don't know if y'all remember, but nobody was allowed inside places because you would die instantly.
Yeah.
And so we had we would have like 3 customers a day.
I remember.
And I would just lay on the couch, watch Tiger King, and like eat pork rinds.
That's the life, dude.
That's
so specific.
It is. I was on this like weird diet at the time. It's like it was on this like keto style diet, and so I was like, all right. So one time I literally left here because I was like nobody's gonna come, and I left here, doors unlocked, with just a note. It's like I'll be back soon. Went to the gas station and came back with food.
It sounds like you were trying to embody Tiger King.
Yes,
The Keto King.
he spoke. He
You're
spoke
like,
to
come
me.
on in, get a coffee. Don't use the restroom. Ignore the clawing. What?
If that was I would just take him to the basement.
Yeah. The basement.
We have a basement here. It's terrifying.
Yes.
I just visited the basement. I can confirm.
Did you go to the basement? Down
Yeah.
there?
Basement.
There's an update there now.
There is.
Yeah, in the room with the weird mafia style chair.
Yeah.
There's now a message that says "Touch my chair or die,"
Wow.
written in what looks like blood.
And that's right below the building that you're all in right now. So
So
Hey guys,
we
thanks
kept
for
the
coming
chair
out.
there. That's the chair one of you were sitting in.
We got it. Look under your chair. Well, Josh, that's awesome. I'm always very interested. Every now and then I talk to somebody who works for a church, and I'm like, loser. But then when I talk to somebody who's like, I got fired from a church, then I do that weird, like, yeah, where we link
Yeah.
hands and then legs, and then we
It's a
dance around
handshake
in a
that we didn't
circle.
know we knew,
Yeah, it's
but we know.
crazy. Yeah, that's all we do. Break
It's part
dance
of
for a
part of
bit.
the severance package of getting fired from a church. They go, hey, here's a list of your new friends
Right.
that have been in the same place you are. Good luck.
Yeah.
Actually, that would actually be very helpful, which means that's not what they do
No,
most of the time.
no. They're like, hey, here's a $12 gift card to, I don't know, Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Hey, we love you. Just
Yeah.
Not
Not
here.
here. Hey,
here.
you belong? Sorry, I didn't mean that, man. It just looks good when the volunteers hold the sign.
Hey.
You're out of here.
Hey, you belong at home.
Oh man, hey, okay. That's good. Let's figure out how to fire a church staff member real quick. You belong at home. PD, what you got?
Give me a minute. I'll see what I can.
Okay, we'll come back. We'll come.
Actually,
back.
that's a pretty valid one too.
Give
Somebody,
me a minute.
they're like, "Hey, you're done." You're like, "Why?" Give me a minute.
You're out of here. Man.
I was given a grading scale each week.
You were what?
I was given a grading scale.
You?
Yeah.
By who?
By the senior pastor who was not in the room during worship. He never stayed in the room during worship, and he would come back that Monday, and I would get like a grading, like I was an Olympic diver.
Huh?
So
Numbers or letters?
numbers. So it was a scale of 1 to 10. This is verbatim. So like, don't look into. This isn't me giving this. New Spring was an 11. I had to stay between a 7 and a 10.
7 and 10.
We were a church of 80 people.
Okay.
And I did it.
Yeah. Until.
I still did it each time.
So
So then
you
there
would-
would be like volunteers we'd have. He'd go, nah, he was a real life Pastor Puppet.
Yeah. Ooh.
He would say like, we need to get rid of her. She sounds like screeching cats.
Oh wow.
What do you mean real
paper?
life?
Paper? Is this like documented? Like
No, it wasn't
red
documented.
pen?
No, it was just like I would have a meeting with him each week, and he'd be like, "Oh, it was a 7 this week, dog." It's like Randy Jackson, and Simon Cowell all brought into one terrible thing.
Did you imply Pastor Puppet's not real?
Oh. Let me just say, I meant more like real life.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might have gotten some work done since I worked for him.
Yeah, totally.
Lost some weight.
He is conscious.
Yeah. It's very bean.
I run a tight ship.
Josh. Oh, I'm sorry. Josh, thanks so much for having us.
Hey,
man.
thank you so much for having me out, guys.
We want to support you any way we know how. And today we were like, hey, what if we support you by rambling in your corner for a couple of minutes?
I would love that.
And blocking the bathrooms.
I gotta say, guys, I'm touched. Well, thank you,
Josh,
guys.
thank you so much, Josh. Josh Williams, everybody.
What a guy. Love that guy.
Love that guy.
We're going
Love
to talk
that
about him like he's
guy.
not in the room.
Yeah. Great guest. Great guy. Hey, are we ready to bring our next guest?
Yeah, we've
up?
got another great guest, great guy.
We got a great guest. Guys, first of all, our next guest, I don't think we're going to give him the full NBA treatment, but I just need to be a little bit more respectful.
Well,
here.
yeah, my dad could play something soulful.
Something soulful. Our next guest, we've been doing a podcast directly on top of his office for the past year, and we were like, hey, you should come do the show, but we never formally
Yeah.
invited him.
He's seen our videos,
He's
and he still
seen
lets
them.
us make more.
Make more in the church, and ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Michael Bayne, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yes.
Finally.
We're doing
I've
it.
got the coffee too.
Yeah, you got the, hey,
I have
logo
the
out,
travel,
logo out.
The Mug Club. I'm going to promote that here from Goe's of the Mug Club.
Yeah.
You could join.
The
Yeah,
Mug
I
Club
finally
is with-
made it because I've experienced every episode in my office, trying to figure out what in the world what
Does it
did
sound
I do.
like this?
It was kind
Just
that's
stop
kind
him.
of like what every episode was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you
like-
feel?
And then I
about-
figured out that when I finally realized that my hero, Pastor Puppet, was in that same space, it was all worth it. I was like, this is a no-brainer. I'm in. This is awesome.
You know, sometimes we know that you, when you're studying downstairs, and after we record an episode, I go, guys, all right, bowling pins, bowling balls, where they're at. Let's go ahead. We'll set them up, let's knock them down, and then we'll bring up the elephants. It's a whole production happens.
I appreciate
We
it.
don't even film that. That's just for you.
That's it's pretty unbelievable. That's all I can say. It's random too. You never know. We
Yeah,
actually we gave you that key to the back door.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that you would let people like Josh up the back
yeah.
stairwell. So I had no clue. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. We're like, Josh, meet us in the back.
Sneak in the back.
Pastor Michael's in his study. Make a lot of noise.
So you've heard
Yeah.
all the loose cannon videos, and you've never thought to tell us we can't come back?
Several of my friends have figured out that you guys film a lot of stuff. And so that's the moment that's really fun. It's like, hey, they're in your church. I'm like, I know. And you never know. I forgot, like the other day, Shaman was like, hey, we're gonna film this thing. I've rented a set to be brought in, and I'm thinking like a set, like just like a set, like some little backdrop or something. I walk into and I set up all the chairs for this event.
You did in the sanctuary.
All the chairs are ready for an event. I walk in, and the entire back wall of the sanctuary, 10 feet tall TV set. And of course, you guys experienced that.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't give away too much about the set, but there were
I
pillars.
had no idea what was going to happen. But yeah, it was fun. It was good times.
I was terrified that the theater company would be like, we can't take that stuff out of there, and then you would just be stuck with it in your sanctuary.
But wouldn't that have been funny though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been pretty
Ignore
mean-
everything while I preach up here, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I watched the videos. I've seen all the characters. No, I'm trying to figure out I haven't figured out yet either. Like what I like them all the characters so much. I can't even figure out which one I would tell you, hey, don't do that, because I'm too busy. I'm like, yeah, I like that. So I can't figure that out, what I would tell you not to do. So.
I like that your pastor friends are like, they're in the church.
Like
we're
they're like-
cockroaches.
they're
like,
like,
get
they're
some
there?
raid, bomb the church. I don't know what to do, man. Get rid of
Those
them.
guys are there?
Go in the middle of the night, turn on the lights, see
Yeah.
if they scatter. I don't know what to do, man. Get
sorry.
rid of them.
I just apologize.
This is a formal apology from the Church Stories Inc. We apologize that it's taken this long for you to be a guest on the show.
No, you actually, the truth is, you asked a long time ago.
Yes.
And I ghosted you. I was like, no, I can't. I was like, I can't. It was just something I was traveling or I was out. So you did ask a long time ago.
Yes.
And I just we couldn't get it worked out, which is weird because you're in the same building.
Yeah. I pass you going sometimes. Going
But I mean, like before tonight, I thought I would have to like prepare for the podcast, and now I know I'm like, no, I don't have to. I just come and hang out with PD and I mean, I follow the highlight of my week is when PD tweets because I literally some of you do follow PD. I don't know what just happened. Like it'll come across, and I'm like. It takes me some time, and then I get it. Some automatic. So I feel like you're like trying things out on the Twitterverse.
And then like I think my profile pic right now is Jackie Chan.
It is Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
I was trying
changed it
to
a
like
lot.
figure out are you a big karate fan or
No,
are you a martial artist?
I'm not a martial artist.
Okay.
I just go through my camera roll and I find something.
And put it up.
Yeah.
It's
And
your
Jackie Chan was in there.
And how often do you change it?
Like once a week or every 2 weeks.
Oh, well, I'm gonna pay even more attention now.
There's somebody else right now who's like, the worst part of my week is when PD tweets.
I know. I know. They're thinking, and all you tweet is Dave Ramsey jokes.
Hey,
So
that's all I got,
I don't really.
brother.
I don't know you and Dave. I'm like, you're the bravest man I know to tweet. I'm like, in church when you're at church, I'm looking to see if like a red dot.
Oh, if I'm just
is
kinda
on
like,
your
wait a second, what are you
forehead. I'm afraid somebody.
Take him out.
It's Dave Ramsey.
I know. That's
It's
what
Dave Ramsey.
I don't
like,
ever.
take
I'm
him out.
like, I don't ever say anything bad
The
about.
only time he sits still is at Greenville Community Church.
Dave, I don't want that Dave rage, man. No. So you're brave. You're
Hey,
brave. So.
listen, love and hate Dave at the same time. I'm the only millennial who keeps cash on him. But people are like, oh, you all them Dave Ramsey jokes. I'm like, I've got exact change for anything I want to buy right now, you idiot. I'm just kidding.
And I have nothing. I have my Apple Watch. Can I pay for that? I'm angry when I can't. I only did that 2 days ago, and I'm amazed. I'm like, I've had an Apple Watch for 3 years, and I just now figured out I can pay for things with it. So I'm like grandpa, like, hey, watch this, guys. So I don't have any chat. I don't have any cash.
How some people get really mad when they're like, oh, we only take cash. I get so excited. I'm
You're
like,
like, because you have cash?
Oh, gosh. I wear a tee with a pocket for cash. I've been doing that. Like, I'm 72 years old, and I'm like, all right, here we go. How much do you need?
My granddad was 83 when he passed away. No joke. We all made fun of him because he kept cash, and we knew he kept it like hidden in his wallet. That dude had somehow in his wallet folded up. He would like fold it up really tiny. He had like $1,000 in his cash in his wallet. What 83? I'm like, my granddad in the mafia? He was a barber. He could have been.
All right, guys, we're gonna play a game. Get your cash out.
Who has cash?
We're gonna do a
How much
cash
cash
count.
do you have in the wallet?
I love that he had 1,000. Was he just
1,000?
kinda
How is that
You never know
possible?
when you need to buy a moped on the fly.
That was his advice to my mom going to college. Hey, make sure you keep some cash on you. I mean, like, how much cash? Obviously, he had $1,000.
Yeah.
At
least enough for a
$1,000. I still don't understand it.
It's for a rainy day.
This is a true confirmed story. This happened.
Here's a fun
But
thing.
I bet you don't have $1,000. Maybe you do. You're a high roller. I don't know. Petey's got 12 cents on it.
Yeah, I got 12 cents. He made VeggieTales remix. I just made homeschool anthem.
What I like to do with cash is a little fun game. Is I like to sandwich little bills with the big bills.
Ah, yeah.
So when somebody's like,
If
"Oh,
you
it's
get
gonna
robbed.
be $27," and they're like, "Oh, you only got one," and I'm like,
Yes.
"Hold up."
Hold up.
They don't say that, but in my mind, that's the scenario where I'm like, they're thinking I don't got. They don't think.
No,
they don't think I don't got
yes.
it when I got it.
All the cash.
Pastor Michael, you have a great background. You used to work camps.
Yep.
Were you a dean or camp director?
Yeah. I wasn't. Well, I don't know, dean.
You work at camp,
I
you
was
do
the
everything.
Dean
Yeah.
of a camp. No. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've been in student ministry. All the middle school, high school ministry, done camps, produced camps, all that stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
In a past life, so many camp stories.
Can you go?
You should change this podcast to camp stories instead of church stories.
We do have a lot of them.
Yeah, I know.
We want to franchise it out. So the church
Okay.
stories,
I want-
Inc. We'll do a division of
I want
one
in
of them
on the
will be
camp
camp
stories.
stories.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
somebody messaged me the other day, and they were like, "Oh, I want to do. We have a lot of Mormons. Like Mormon stories. I'm
Mormon
like, hey,
stories.
let me know. Mormon church stories. Yeah, take it. Like a McDonald's. Take it.
Hey, this is a great
Take
time.
the formula. Don't.
We're pretty far away,
Don't do
but
it.
in November, every year I become a Mormon, and it's really important if you would all do it with
Really?
me. Yes, Mormon November. If you're not, this is another thing you'll see me tweet about.
He
later
said that
on.
like it's on your Apple calendar. It's Mormon November.
Yeah.
The whole
This
every day.
happens. It's not like
Yeah,
this
so
happens.
what
You
happens,
celebrate that.
I saw hashtag Movember, and I was like, that'd be so funny if it was Mormon instead of mustache.
Ah.
Yeah, so ever since then, I drank a lot of milk in November. I have revelations.
They're the nicest people.
Don't
He does become nicer.
was gonna do the multiple wives thing, and then Lauren came along and squashed
yes.
that. Can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, join me, Mormon November.
I don't know that I'm allowed to join you, but that's a good idea.
You'll
I'm
do
gonna,
PD just pitched a pastor on Mormon November. I don't know if you're busy November. All right.
I promise to retweet it because I literally believe Twitter is useless. So
Yeah.
I will
Thank you,
just
but-
retweet it, even though I'm on it a
Spread the
lot.
word, yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I like retweeting things like that. So let's just see how much trouble we could cause.
yeah,
Yeah.
given your title as a pastor, I understand the hesitancy.
I will. Well, I mean, you guys record this podcast in my church, so.
That's true. But if you drink milk, you have the Mormon visions.
Oh.
So even
Only in
unintentionally partaking in, even if you don't mean to partake in Movember, I don't even like that I said that.
I
You
don't
are
even-
partaking in it.
I feel like I'm walking into a trap right now. I'm like, I don't even know what to
I
comment.
wish this was a joke.
I
PD
wish-
has
I
been
wish
doing this
this
the
was
past
not
2
real,
years.
but this is real.
And,
And
it
we're
is
coming
real.
back stronger than ever. We're writing in Mitt Romney in the next election if he doesn't run. We only have one candidate.
Steve Young's a Mormon, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
We have
he's
He
a
two
shouldn't have told him
candidates.
that.
He's a quarterback. He's an NFL Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he should run.
Dale Murphy, he's a Brave. I only know sport. The only
the
thing I
Mormon-
know in life is Jesus, the Bible, and sports.
And just
That's-
sports.
Jody, who is Jody
Murderer.
Harris?
Actually murdered her boyfriend.
Oh, really?
So I
Really?
don't think we'll be
Well, my
accepting her
theory
into the
about
movement.
Murderer. Actually,
wow.
I mean-
actual murderer.
Yeah, a real one.
Oh.
That's another murder stories.
Yeah.
Too soon.
That has to exist already. You don't even know who she was, and you're like, too soon.
Too
Yeah.
soon. Pastor Michael, we got to talk. You can't
Yeah.
mention camp stories and not give us a great camp story.
Oh wow, I did not. I was reliving because I heard you. I think you had a character from camp
Yes.
getting on to somebody about
Yeah.
PDA.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like, sit down. We're not allowed to, anyway. So it got me thinking about those things. And I was reminding my wife, because Chelsea was with me at all those camps. My wife was there. And so one of the first ones we had to make, I had all these, every camp has these handed down traditions. And so like one of the traditions was and we had this camp that I inherited, and they had high schoolers who were counselors. And so one of the traditions were that the high school leaders would handle discipline with the middle schoolers, okay? So the way that they would do that was with, you may or may not, am I allowed to say this? Can I say, it's called a titty twister. Okay, can I say titty twister on the church? Or you can beep that out. Beep, beep twisters. Can I say that? I feel really bad right now.
Hey, Pastor Michael, you can't say that. Hey, let's go ahead and record on this episode.
Now we're in the clear.
Is that word still allowed in 2021?
Hey,
I don't.
Drew, Chase.
Out of Andrew, Chase, me, PD, Josh, I love that it was the pastor.
Okay.
It was the guest.
So this kid, there's this certain kid, Seth. If you're watching, Seth, you're not. I love you, man. Seth comes up to me and he's like, he was like a terror the night before, and they got on him, like they were like disciplining him, and so he came to me and he said, I got in trouble and these guys are like pinching me and hit me, and he raised his shirt up.
Oh,
and I swear, dude, this dude's a big dude too. I love you, Seth. Okay, if you listen. So he raised his shirt up, and dude, he's got like bruises all over him, and I'm like a 23-year-old imagining being handcuffed, going to jail because a kid just got like beat up by high school counselors. So that ended that tradition that day. Like I've never seen. Every high school counselor got pulled into a room and just like, because I was the middle school pastor, the high school pastor just went off. I've never seen. It was so bad. I was so angry, but the reaction he got, it was like he turned into the Hulk and like broke things and yelled at them, and it never happened again. So yeah, that was probably, there are lots of things. One time, same camp, same year, the lead pastor's daughter was a massive, like a really good softball player. We had this water games. She blew her knee out at our camp. Yeah.
Not on water day.
Who would have thought? Water running in a circle.
Why did the water break her fall?
I mean, who would have thought you could slip and fall on water day or twist your knee? But that happened. Yeah, he was not happy with me. But.
So all my time, I like that you said it's a tradition, as in like people had to pass that on to other people.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. So if somebody messes up, the punishment, okay.
It's written in a book somewhere.
Yeah, and I'm a freshman. I will carry this on till I graduate, and don't come back to make $125 a week plus room, board, and food.
I mean, the high schools were like, but we've been doing this for years. I'm like, you shouldn't have said that. Like those are things you shouldn't have said. You shouldn't have just told me that.
Yeah.
So Chase and Andrew, bleep that first story.
Yeah.
We can put auto tune on.
I did have.
really funny, though.
I have
That is
told
really
you this
funny.
too. The worst decision I ever made at a camp, though, somebody else made. We were going to do a video. In the Bible, there's this verse that says, if you have sin, if your right hand causes you to sin, what do?
You cut it off.
You cut it off. Okay. So I had, this is worth it. I did this. I'm 22 years old. And I thought I'd brought one of my best friends, Matt, up to be the camp pastor. And we were like, that verse is so funny. Like, cut your hand off. Ha ha. So I thought, what if I take this little camera around and you take your Bible and go up to the student, read the verse, ask them if they've sinned, and then when they say yes, you pull a knife out of your shorts and ask them to put your hand on the Bible. And it makes complete sense, doesn't it? Like, this is a funny video.
Yeah.
This is great. This is the funny video. So the first kid we do it to just laughs and's like, oh, I got it. The second kid laughs and runs away.
Oh.
The third kid was from another church that we really didn't know that well. And she got dead scared, like afraid, and she ran away, but not in a ha 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 way, like Yeah, like I'm terrified. Well, the end of that story is when we got back from camp, literally a dad and a lawyer showed up in my office. Oh! Womp, womp, womp. And here's what's even worse. I'm so young, I don't figure out it's a lawyer until about 15 minutes in the meeting.
So you're just in there like, who died, loser?
Thankfully, I was very, and thankfully, the only redeeming moment of that is that we did not show that live. That we made the video, we showed the other kids, but we didn't show her. And so that was my only defense. Like, I don't know how I survived.
So, question, do you have access to this video?
Oh, no.
Can you re-record it?
You know,
we will reenact it tomorrow at church.
Wait, can we use this for
everybody? Greenville Community Church. I don't know.
Wait, why don't
We're
we-
back. We're back. Where's the
back.
knife? What's weird is that he pulled the knife out of his shorts.
Out of his shorts.
That's even more weird.
So, you know, for some odd reason, as you were telling the story, you're like, a dad and a lawyer showed up. I thought you were going to say the dad had no hand. And I thought,
Oh no, you went through with it.
I was like, my dad sinned. I get it. It's all making sense.
Wouldn't it have been awesome if the dad was Captain Hook? Just walked down. That would be awesome. No, it didn't. No, it was a lawyer and a regular crazy dad. A dad who was very mad at me. He would have fit right in 2020. 2021.
Yeah.
This dad was like, he was a precursor of what was to come.
Now, let me ask you this. These are the stories that you that are for public consumption.
Oh,
the ones that happened at camp way back when, like, would you even try to work at any kind of in like a leadership role at any kind of camp now? Name your price. Like, would you even? Because I mean, like,
it's so hard, man. It's a nightmare.
not that things have like buckled down, but things were so loose.
Yeah.
Way back when that even I used to go to a camp where we'd be it was like guys swim time. The camp counselors would pick us up like between the arms like this. The guy would dip his hand in water and then smack us on the chest.
Just for fun, to see who could do it. Yeah.
This one kid who was in the bunk above me one day woke up the next day after the guy's swim time. And he was like, dude, look at my chest. And he had a handprint, a red handprint on his chest. And I was like, whoa.
That's awesome.
That happens every day in public school. Like every day in gym class.
All right, homeschoolers.
Yeah.
Homeschool, different.
Yeah. That's a
Different
public school
speed.
type beat.
Earlier when you said the mug club, that's what Chase went to in high school.
The mug.
It's a different
mug
kind
club.
of mug club.
Yeah.
Chase hasn't eaten lunch since somebody still takes his lunch money to this day.
I would
pay
not
them.
work at a camp. I would. There's no way. I don't even like.
Because I mean, like, a lot of that stuff is like,
no.
I saw this kid and was like, wow, your chest is swollen with a handprint. Man, I hope that doesn't happen to me. Now I'm like, that is assault. That is assault. And people will answer for this.
Yeah, we had so much fun though. I mean, like, I always had, for us, like, I always had we always had really great teams, and so like our volunteers, they would tell us like when we crossed the line, like, no, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. So we had great teams that kept us, but like I watch people that go, like, I know people that go to a camp, do their own camp, and have no adults around. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you need somebody that's just been like, yeah, that's dumb. You need like the dumb police just to go. So thankfully we had enough of that around us. But I wouldn't do it now. I mean, yeah, it's hard. I don't know how you navigate that.
Can I present a theory that
Tell
I
me.
had?
Come on.
I've been to 3 conferences in the past couple of weeks. Tony and I did out in the Midwest, and we were in North Carolina. And my theory is that there should be like a ratio of for every, let's say 20, not a chaperone, but just for every 20-somethings in like a camp or a conference or in a church setting, there should be one 65-year-old just assigned to them. So
Right
just one person just to keep it straight. So that way, somebody gets out of line, you're like, listen, hey, I'm gonna die soon. Just somebody just reminding them of mortality and like, hey, if a kid spends $37 at the canteen. It's like, hey, I've got no retirement. I might be a Walmart greeter after this. And you're like, okay, the 65-year-old has reminded me of my future.
Yeah.
I'm still working.
That's smart. That's a good ratio. I think it's an appropriate ratio.
Yeah.
I have a podcast host etiquette question for you. Am I allowed to leave during my own podcast to use the restroom in the restaurant right next door?
Aaron,
Well, you heard the announcement, right?
Aaron told me that when y'all called me up, I should go to the restroom
instead
of coming here. I just wasn't brave enough to do
you're
that.
good. You could just use that. You could just use that restroom.
I'm going to leave. I'm not going to go right there.
You
Okay,
got on
cool.
dark.
Yeah,
We've
you're
all
good,
got
you're
on
good,
dark
you're good.
pants. Nobody will know, man.
I mean, but there's an
Hey, they
audience
do all the time
watching
at
me.
camp, dude.
I mean, this is what we do. Just
I've never had an audience watch me go into a bathroom before. So
I don't think you've ever actually
Chase,
broken the podcast to be like, I gotta go.
Chase, Andrew, play me out.
I got you.
Is that the fifth wall?
This is the play out song.
Wow.
This is ridiculous. Okay.
Worship songs.
This just happened.
So, Pastor Michael, I do want to know. We all need to know, what was the transition from? First of all, how did you start off? Like, what was your first, I guess I want to say job, but your first staff position at a church? And then
Yeah.
how did you go to camps and all that, and to where you are right now?
Yeah. I never wanted to do this. That's number one. Like anybody, the people you should really be scared of are the ones that grow up and are middle school going, man, I can't wait to be a pastor. Yeah. Those are the people that just truly frightened. I know they exist. Some of my friends are like that. And I'm like, man, what's wrong with you? So my dad was a pastor. I did not want to do this. And so first, we were volunteers. So I know for all the volunteers out there, I love you. So we were volunteers and, just changed paths. I was going to coach, teach, and so jumped in to some student ministry roles. Did that, went to seminary, went to grad school because I knew absolutely nothing. So I'd never been to a Christian school, never done any of that, even though I grew up in the church. And so went to grad school, studied, and then really just was like, I'll just do whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, jumped into, served at multiple churches, student ministry, family ministry, all that kind of stuff. But then finally, the biggest deal was we got to be a part of a church plant in Clarksville, Tennessee. I went there as a family pastor and ended up spending 10 years at the same church and got to be in multiple roles. I was the family pastor for a season, executive pastor, transitional lead pastor, had a 10-year run, which was really cool in one city. And we just but at the end of that 10-year run, we were like, our kids were in high school 4 years ago. We were like, we're either going to go plant a church or we'll never do this. I mean, we were 40, so we planted a church. Yeah,
Back from his bathroom
PD.
break, PD
Welcome
Bachman.
back, buddy. How you feel?
PD.
I feel lighter.
Good.
I didn't want to pee myself in front of Pastor Puppet. So
Yeah, he will smack. He's
never-
already
never
fired
heard the
you
end of
before.
Yeah.
He was talking about Pastor
Yeah.
Michael was talking about his
Pastor
seasons and levels of
Yeah,
to where he
yeah.
is right now. Yeah.
So, but I came back here 4 years ago and we planted, the scariest thing ever, planted the church. And I joke around with people, I'm like, man, I'm just glad it's healthy and alive.
Yeah.
But that's no joke. Those early days, I was like, what? That was the scariest thing I think I've ever done as far as what am I doing? I'm here, we've got a church, we're in a movie theater that I don't want to be in. I would people would come in, I'd be like, I'm sorry you're here. Come into the movie theater. But we just didn't anticipate that venue, but that's what we had. It was like, for everybody who started in theater days, I love you even more. That you made it through that. And then, but then we got a chance to merge with another church and then revitalize a church. And that's where that's kind of why y'all are upstairs recording this, is because we got this space and we just kept working at it.
Yeah.
And it's been a really, really fun run to see something, because we're just trying to fight for something healthy and then also empower people like you guys. We love entrepreneurs. Obviously, your producer's an entrepreneur. There's just a bunch of people in our church that are all entrepreneurial. And so when you were like, hey, can we do that? And Andrew asked, I'm like, Well, yeah, there's an empty room. Let's do it. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
What I didn't tell you was there was no air conditioning at the time. Remember that?
No, no.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
suffered through it.
Yeah,
Man,
you
we were
survived.
just up there just like,
Andrew-
man, great church stories.
Andrew's living that life now because he has like a room next door that has no air.
Yeah.
But we're coming. We're going to remodel that soon. But yeah, it's really cool just to be able to see what it's fun. It's fun. Church is fun again for me.
Yeah.
And church has not always been fun, but church now is a joy. Like it's a joy being leading our church, even though it's like small.
Question about when you started off in the theater. Did you ever have somebody like, come in, popcorn, come in, the whole works, and then all of a sudden y'all start singing and they're like, hey, this isn't Django Unchained. Where are all these people up there?
They're eating popcorn.
It's a Sunday morning.
Yeah, no.
It's a very interactive
but I did.
movie.
Yeah, it's like,
This is a funny movie. There's a band down front. There's a guy with dreads playing electric guitar down there too. He doesn't have those anymore. The movie did start on us
Really?
3 times. 3 different Sundays.
What
They
movie?
forgot. They forgot. Oh, didn't even get to the movie. It was just the dumb preview lady. Which is worse. It's worse than a movie. It'd been cool if it was a movie. I'd have sat down and watched it. I'd have been like, hey, I'm done. Let's watch the movie.
Yeah, guys,
but it's
guys.
the preview lady saying, hey, would you play this game with me?
Yeah.
And so like the first time the movie came on, it was right in the middle of the invitation, and I was going for it. Like I was, this is it. We're focused. The movie comes on, and my worship leader, who's not here anymore, not with us now, but our worship leader like tried to play over the movie. I was trying to stop the service, like, hey man, hey, cut, and he just keeps going. So
man.
we learned to laugh and like, okay, well, guess we're done. See you later.
Well, you see, God is like a popcorn commercial.
Yeah, see,
This is part of the plan, guys. This is all part of the plan.
this is all. Yeah, we were meant to see this commercial. What we're about to see. now.
Serious question. You said so. My dad was also a pastor.
Yeah.
You grew up in a pastor's home.
Did.
What would you tell? And you also set out not to do ministry.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I set out to do ministry, and then I was
quit.
in, and then was
You didn't
out.
quit. You still
I was
do ministry. You just do it in a different way.
Right.
That's
right.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. If the moment we call this a ministry, guys, it's over.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
over.
We
When
don't
get
call
that
it
Shama
501(c) money.
That's what I thought it was the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
It is a
Sure,
school.
Sure.
It's an after-school program.
Yeah. So you didn't set out. That's where you are. What would you tell people? And then you said that not the worst kind, but there are types of people who set out to do ministry. They're 12.
Yeah.
They got the KJV. They got a commentary with them. They're like, I'm going to be a pastor.
Cray CD.
They're every.
Hey,
Did you
Dad,
say
play some
Lecrae?
Yeah, play some Lecrae on the keyboard.
So they've got all these things, and they want to set out to do ministry. Like, what would you tell somebody who is setting out to do ministry? Like, what would you tell that person? Not like,
I would say
seriously, though.
bluntly, this is not. I just don't see ministry in the church. I mean, there's ministry in a nonprofit, in a missions organization. There's like so many different levels of things you can do, but like in the church setting, it's just really, really, to me, it's not a career path. It's not like something you climb the ladder in, or want to get ahead in, or it's like it's truly, personally, I feel like it's something that we joke around like it's a calling. You've heard people throw it around. Oh, I'm called to do this. I'm called to that.
Yeah.
There is a part of that. It's a calling, but it's like there's also this affirmation from other believers of like, hey, you're good at this. Like I see this in you. And I think the best thing that happened to me was I never felt like, oh, I'm going to be a pastor one day. All I knew was I was at a mission trip. I sensed that God said to me like, hey, I want you to do this. And I went to my pastor and said, hey, I think I'm supposed to like serve in the church. That's all I know. It wasn't like, I'm going to be a pastor one day, or I'm going to be a worship leader. I'm going to be none of that stuff. It was like, I just knew I was called to, and my pastor said to me, well, what took you so long? Like, I've seen that in you. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I mean, in the moment, I was like, oh, that's cool. But looking back, I'm like, that kind of thing has been kind of confirmed as we've gone along. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my part to play. And it's within the church.
And then God said, there are these guys with a podcast.
And let them in the building.
Yeah, you have an extra room.
And that's no air conditioning. And who knows what's up there? Squirrels.
I feel like, sincerely, as creatives, I know that myself, PD, Chase, Robert, Andrew, Robert's also in here helping us set up and directing some of the stuff as well. I feel like there are so many moments that, as a creative person, you want to do things, but then it only happens after you meet somebody else, you know? And then, like, all of a sudden, like, I can pinpoint so many things that we've done together where it's like, I met PD over 10 years ago. And then that meeting, you know, has resulted to where we are now. And then you and being at GCC and recording and making videos there and all the views and stuff that have come from it. I'm like, wow, what a cool opportunity where you meet somebody and you meet a lot of people, but then you meet almost like the right person that's God ordained, and I don't use that term lightly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, and when you hold it all open-handed, I think that's the other thing. It's like, I'm supposed to do. So again, like, if you're creative, you create, and you just keep like doing it. That's the thing I've seen is like you do it, and then you get better at it as you go. Like, you guys have been doing this for a long time. I'm discovering some of your old videos. Don't. It's funny. I mean, it's funny, but it's funny to see. Just like it's funny to see your growth. But I think when you hold it like, oh, I know this because I have conversations with you guys, and you're like really open-handed with all this. Like, hey, we're gonna do this, and we'll see what happens. Yep. And I think that's what you've got to be. I think that's what I encourage people in staff roles. I'm like, man, just open your hands up, because it's the people that have we meet guys all the time that are controlling and like closed, and you hear things like, well, I'm due respect, or this is my position, or you don't talk to me that way because
how dare you?
Not to mention the name that must not be mentioned.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to hear that wrath from him, but I mean, like, but you hear that and they're like, oh, and so you just got to keep it open.
Dark Mystical?
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Pastor Michael, for many different things, but also for
I appreciate
coming
you.
and guesting on the show.
Thank you. No, this is great.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and also, we're not gonna take a year to have you back on. I just want to let you know that.
Please.
We're upstairs.
Can I
know
come
where to
up?
find
Can
us.
I just I want to just drop in the middle of it.
WWE wrestler style, just bust through the door,
kick them out
the
of the
microphone out of.
This is weird to see you guys on a couch, though. I'm like, this is.
Oh, on like one couch. Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. What are we?
I need the recliner.
Space? This is the most space this podcast has ever been in. Also, we've always
people don't understand that or dimension.
No. Wide angle lenses. Hey, Pastor Michael, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Hey,
now the real star comes. How do we make that happen?
I hopefully he'll make it. I got word that he.
Well,
I don't know where he's at.
All right,
but we'll see.
Give it up for Pastor Michael.
Thank you,
Pastor Michael Bayne.
What a guy! What a guest!
What a guest! Hey, is that? I think that's our guest landing on the roof right now. Is that Pastor?
Is it Pastor?
Oh gosh! Oh, he's here. Oh man!
Pastor Puppet's in the building.
He just flung the door open.
Yeah, well, okay, so it's still open. I
heard a helicopter.
Oh, yeah, that's just my everyday helicopter. For city travel.
Pastor Puppet, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here with Timothy Chalamet and P.D. Wong.
Thank you.
It is an honor. I loved you in Doctor Strange, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, man, Pastor Puppet, I love that you also brought a microphone again. You've been on the show before, but you
Oh, yeah, I never take this bad boy off. You never know when a sermon's gonna just break out.
Let's start off with a question that's on everybody's mind. Do you know Bill Gates?
Oh, Billy. B-Dog. Gates. No, I do not. No.
He did some stuff with computers.
Yeah.
Oh, turtleneck jeans.
Yeah.
No. That's Steve Jobs. That's Steve Jobs. Different computer guy.
Whose job?
It's Steve's job.
It's Steve Jobs.
Computers is Steve's job. Got
Yes.
it.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. He died though,
Yeah.
so he's not.
Oh.
Was his job.
Well,
I
let's
guess you
have
could
a
say.
moment of silence.
Right now?
Yes.
Right?
Was that you do the symbol of the Well, thank you. That's. Did I break
You're
the
not being
silence?
silent.
Oh, sorry.
Goodbye.
Well,
Oh, thanks, Pastor Bubba. Thanks for that.
Of course.
So you brought somebody else this time. You brought an assistant.
What?
Your handler, the young man that you're with.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
You just fly alone in the cop. Do you
Oh yeah.
pilot? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what his role is.
Who?
we'll move on.
yeah,
Do you
we'll
know
move on,
when
we'll move on.
Donda's gonna be released? Do you know Kanye, right? So
Oh yeah, K Dizzle.
So you gotta have the scoop.
Jesus! Yandi! Yana Marapia! Yes, me and Kanye go way back. I met him back when his jaw was wired shut. I was the one who told him. I said, you should rap anyways on the album with your jaw wired shut. It'll make a cool story.
That was your call.
That was my call, yep.
Wow. Wow.
Did he tell you when he's gonna drop the album?
Well, it's... let's just say I don't know if there actually is an album.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, we heard that you have an album coming out.
Yeah, we did hear.
Yes.
Through the grapevine.
Pastor Puppet's album.
Is that the title? Is that what you went with?
That is what I went with. It tested very well.
Tested with the test group?
No, I prayed on it. Went pretty well.
And then after you prayed on it, you tested it with.
Yeah,
with
who
God.
else would you test it with?
I don't know.
He's heard every album name.
You make a great
He's got a
point.
point. He's got a great
Yeah.
point. I can't remember, PD, the last time that we spoke with Pastor Puppet.
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago. Beginning of this season, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. How have you been since then?
Oh, very busy, running a church, cutting an album, hanging out with Yeezers, going to space.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah?
You went to space?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's doing it now.
I mean, yeah, I saw what's his name, and Elon Musk is trying, and then Jeff Bezos did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're amateurs, though. They flew like 1 mile into space. I've already sent a crack team of completely unskilled 14-year-olds to Mars on a mission.
To Mars?
They have no skills.
To Mars? Mm-hmm. You sent them to
We
Mars?
put them in a space shuttle and just sent them out after they paid us $3,000 each. And now they are building a school on Mars.
Wait a second.
They went from they have no training.
This is an intergalactic mission trip?
Yes.
Made up of 14-year-old youth group students.
Yes.
Who? I mean, who did you talk to your board? Do you have scientists? Do you have designers? What?
Oh, no. I just, there's only one guy I talk to about this kind of stuff.
Bezos.
Kanye.
Oh man. So space.
Yeah, the
Wait.
final frontier.
The 14-year-olds made it?
What? I don't know. I'm here doing a podcast. I'm not in the control room.
Wait, so there is a control room.
There's a control room.
Yeah, it's the tech booth at the church. We're running this baby on PowerPoint.
They're like, wait, I'm not getting oxygen, and Mighty to Save is coming up.
You sent 14-year-olds to space from your control booth at your church with PowerPoint.
Yep.
Man, what
And-
can't you do, Pastor Puppet?
There's nothing you can't do through the power of Christ.
Ooh.
Kanye told me that.
Oh man.
What paid for the rocket?
The congregation?
Oh, okay. Just tithes, not book sales or anything, or album
Just
sales?
the congregation?
Well, you got to decide what pays for what. The congregation and the missionaries, they pay for the shuttle. The tithes pay for my pool.
Just the pool?
Just the pool?
Well, it's a big pool. It's to test out my submarine. We're sending teens underwater, baby.
Did Kanye help you with that too?
No, actually, it was Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps.
Yes.
He's making submarines now?
No. Well, he's trying. He's branching out. Doesn't-
You've been very busy since we last spoke. You got the album. Yeah, you've had books before that. Space.
I got another book coming out too. Just cranking them out.
You got another book coming out.
Uh-huh.
What's this one called?
Yeah, tell us about it.
It's called I Felt It.
And you want to give us a little bit of chapter 1, maybe, just a little bit?
Okay. This is just from memory, so.
Okay.
Chapter 1. There I was. A small boy. Smaller than most boys. Softer, too. My legs didn't work so well, so I couldn't run and jump and frolic with the other kids. But I did have one friend. Someone who's with us always. No matter where you are, and he loves each and every one of you exactly the way you are. His name is Kanye.
That's chapter 1. That's chapter 1.
Yeah, that's the whole chapter.
That's the whole. That's the whole
That's
chapter.
it. Very short chapters, easy to
You're getting
read.
straight to the point. You're getting straight to
Yeah.
Well, they're short chapters. How many chapters are there?
3,000.
Oh, okay.
the 3,000 chapters.
Yep, 12 pages.
All right, give us. All right, give us some. Gosh, that was good. Give us some chapter titles right now, just like ones that some bangers,
All right.
unskippables, if you will.
Okay, this one's my favorite. This is a good one. I came up with this one. Chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
You did. What's the title?
Chapter 5.
Wow! Wow!
I wrote that.
You wrote that one.
Yep.
Which
came
one
up with
comes
that.
after that one?
Chapter 6.
Oh, and so it just kind of keeps on going.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool to do something with numbers. You know how they're in an order.
Yeah.
So what if we put our chapters in some kind of numerical order?
It's
A
different.
lot of innovations happening at your in your empire, I guess. The Pastor Puppet.
Yes, empire is a good word to describe
I
it.
didn't know what you used. I didn't know what you use.
Empire, kingdom, fiefdom, any of those.
Wow! Did you happen to get a coffee at the bar at any point in time?
Oh
you got
no, I haven't gotten any coffee yet. I got off the helicopter and I came straight down. So if someone could get Pastor Puppet a coffee, maybe some donut holes.
Would you like some coffee now? Like,
Yo, please.
okay. I mean,
We'll see what we can
sure,
do.
We'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll get the pastor
Sorry
some
to interrupt, but I pre-ordered your video game and I still haven't gotten it.
You got the video game? You have a video game?
Yes. Well, Jamie, did you also pre-order the Pastor Puppet Play system?
Wait a second.
It's not compatible with Xbox?
No.
Hey, I got my triple PS.
You got the triple PS. PD, you got the triple PS.
Here's your coffee, Pastor Puppet.
Oh,
Appreciate
thank you.
it. Thank you. We wanna- Is this cute? Yeah, let him.
That's good.
Good stuff. Yeah, cooperative roasters. That's the. that's right. I think where they buy from.
I'm really, really excited about the album. You know, we have a keyboard player here. Did y'all go over anything before the show? Like, could you give us a little excerpt
A little taste of the album.
of one of the singles?
Oh boy, I don't usually perform live, but you know what? Let's do it. Give me a beat.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Whenever
Whenever you're ready.
you're
Oh,
ready.
I probably should have mentioned it's an instrumental album. Yeah.
Forgive us for not knowing.
So do you play an instrument on the album? Do you just vibe to it like
just-
this?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. The album comes with a DVD of me just vibing. Yeah, but you gotta sync them up. We don't make it easy either.
You gotta
Yep.
play on the TV, on the DVD, and on the.
Yes.
I got my
It is
iPhone.
not available for streaming.
No.
Only DVD and Betamax.
Oh. Well,
Wow.
do you have lyrics up so we know when to go and yeah?
Yes. Have you all watched any like sing-along movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how they have the bouncing ball?
Uh huh.
Yes, it's that.
Oh, but
So
your
it's
head.
It's that, but it'll be like. Uh-huh.
Well, could you give us the beat one more time?
Just
when you
give
do
us
that?
a yeah. We are like really vibing now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's like a.
Round of applause.
Oh man.
Thank
What a
you.
powerful-
Thank you.
How long is the whole project?
Oh, it's 3 days long.
Do you think people are gonna listen to it in its entirety?
Yeah. You listen to it leading up to Easter.
The what? Leading up to Easter.
Yeah. Did I get it backwards?
No. It's
No.
But if you play it at the right
You
time,
play it at the right time.
Yeah, on
Jesus
Sunday.
resurrects on the Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
By the time
Yeah. It's
Pastor Puppet says he is risen.
yeah, at the very end. That's the, only
the
words.
one lyric on the album. You're like, wow, 3 days instrumentals, and then like at the very end, he is risen. You're like, whoa. It's kind of like how Phil Collins, he had that song, and like he makes you wait like 3 minutes before the drums come in. You know, like the do 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 do.
Wow.
No one here listen to Phil Collins?
I don't. No, I think nobody here does.
You've never
Sorry.
seen Tarzan?
Oh, I have seen Tarzan. Yes.
Then you listen to Phil
Oh,
Collins.
yeah, then we have a majority of us, I believe, have listened to Phil Collins. Hey, can I introduce you to a couple people? Our piano player. This is PD's dad. Mr. Scott. I don't know if you ever met Mr. Scott.
No, hello, nice to meet you.
Okay, and that's Petey's girlfriend, Lauren. I don't know if you ever met Lauren.
Hello, I think we met once. Hi.
And then we have Andrew over here. He's producing with it for us.
Hello, he's worked with me before.
You worked with Andrew before?
Yes, he's produced some of my albums.
Good to see you again, Pastor.
Andrew,
Good to see you.
You on the album?
Just credited.
Which day?
Ghostwriting.
Which day are you writing on?
2.35.
2.35. Wow. That's awesome, Pastor Pup. Well, thanks so much for stopping by, man.
Well, and Chase, you haven't seen Chase in a while.
Oh, you haven't seen Chase. Remember
You saw me like an hour ago.
Chase? You punched him in the
Oh,
gut.
Jamie!
Yeah. Why'd you punch him?
I don't know what you're talking about. There must be some other puppet running around here.
No, it was you. It was you.
Oh, we all look alike, don't we, Jamie?
I knew it was you because before you punched me, you said, Pastor Puppet Punch.
You say Pastor Puppet punch before you punch
Wow.
somebody?
It is my signature move, yes.
PPP?
PPP, it's a good combo. You should use it.
Yeah.
So, wait a second. So, you have a video game out, and then there's also the Pastor Puppet PlayStation.
Yes.
What came first? Because it sounds like Chase had the game, but then nobody understood that the game
Yes.
was with the...
That was the error. We made the game that is not compatible with any system.
No system.
Yep. So then we had to go back and make a system. We did it backwards.
So you made the system.
Yes.
Hey, I'm really looking forward to Joel Osteen Simulator that y'all announced.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Yes. You just turn people in need away.
Oh, man!
It's very realistic.
You just spawn at the globe just in case you die, and then you keep on going. You keep on
Yeah,
going.
we just plop you down wherever a natural disaster has happened. And you just as long as you want, you just be like, nope.
Yeah. And then you get to go inside
Nuh-uh.
and film a reality show.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Very fun. Very relaxing. Kind of like the lawnmower simulator or the power washing simulator.
Pastor, I feel like we have Chase and Petey here who are really into wrestling games. Is there a Pastor Puppet wrestling game in the works?
Well, I cannot confirm nor deny that. All I will say is that I have been spending some time with Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Oh.
Rest in peace.
Have you
of
talked
course.
with Hulk Hogan any?
Oh, a little bit. He's a little difficult to work with. I was always more of an Undertaker fan myself. I like Rey Mysterio. He's very mysterious.
He works in mysterious ways.
Rey Mysterio works in mysterious ways. I've always said that.
Pastor Puppet, we were gonna do a Q&A. Do you mind if would you like to take some questions while we have you?
I'll take the good ones.
Does anybody have a good question for Pastor Puppet while we have him here? Just yell it out. Just yell it out.
Talking of what we talked about earlier with firing people, what was the best way you have fired somebody?
Yeah, how would you fire somebody on
Oh,
stage?
I'm going to teach you a great trick. What you do is you don't fire them to their face. You just stop the chips. And then you don't tell them. Don't tell them.
You don't tell him. You don't tell him.
And then you just see how many days they keep coming in and doing work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, brilliant.
Wow.
It's very economical.
Now, do you run this? I mean, is the board approved, like the financial team, or do you just you and God kind of handling?
Well, I like to think me and God are our own board.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, can we get another good question? Do we have another good question in the house real quick? Just anybody, just yell it out if you got it. Yes?
So, Pastor Puppet, we know you're a little bit older. Do you dye your hair that
Okay,
Yeah,
he
so-
asked,
Get him out!
Hold on a second.
Jamie!
Real quick,
Hold on.
he
Jamie!
asked,
Get him out!
He asked, you're a little older. Do you dye your hair? And you want him to leave?
I want him out, and I want this part of the podcast deleted.
You want to go? So I mean, it's a valid question, right?
Do we have security?
we
Chase
have-
used to be a pro wrestler.
Chase
Get him
used to be
out.
security.
Yeah, we could probably get him out.
Yes, please get him out.
I'm
please.
not taking them out until you answer the
You
question.
can just answer the question. Yeah.
To let's see. To dis.
So you pray.
Do I listen? My hair and its color is a gift from God, and to make a mockery of it is to make a mockery of Him, which is blasphemy. So get out! Sorry.
I love how
Sorry.
everything you and God are just very intertwined. I love how you tie everything together with Him and to Him.
Well, that's literally my job.
You are a pastor, yes.
So this is your only chance to speak with Pastor Puppet in person, probably. So if anybody has a question,
One more
just yell
good
it out.
question. We'll take one more good question.
Favorite worship album.
Oh, my favorite worship album. Now, I have to make we have to distinguish real quick. When you say worship album, do you mean like the genre of worship music, or do you mean just any album to worship to?
Could be anything. Why not?
I mean, let's just open it up.
Yeah.
Let's open it up.
Okay. Favorite worship album? Mine.
Solid.
Favorite just any album to worship to? Let's see.
Let's see. A little smacking, okay.
Yeah. He's thinking.
Little, just let him work.
Have you guys heard of Dolly Parton?
We have.
Yeah,
love Dolly.
The worship leader and country singer Dolly Parton, yeah.
Yeah, she has her own world.
yes. What?
She has her own world.
She
in
has a-
Tennessee.
Oh, I thought you meant she went to space too.
No.
Woo!
Now, it's just you and the billionaires. That's the only people.
Yeah,
on
but
that
Yeah.
phone.
do you have a theme park,
NASA.
or is that in the works? Because you got to outdo Dolly.
Well, we have some traveling attractions. We have the Pastor Puppet Circus.
You have a Pastor Puppet Circus.
Yes, it's not doing well now that we don't have any animals in it.
Yeah,
but
well, the problem was when you threw the guy in the lion's den for real.
Is that part of the act?
the lion thing,
Yeah.
well, you know, we want to be realistic.
I mean, how realistic though?
Well, you know, you just take one of your cast members and you nope, wrong. Remind me, who got thrown in the lion's den?
Daniel.
Daniel, you say, hey, buddy, come here. And then you Daniel him.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But now we don't have lions, so now we just have to Radshak, Meshach, and Abednego people.
Did they survive?
Radney just Shadrach. Okay. And
Yeah.
they serve, I mean, how
Your
many,
shack, my shack, and a bungalow. Yeah. Dude.
wow. How, rides? What we got? Rides at PPC?
Yes. Well, we have a roller coaster. It's one of those ones you see at like the fair at the mall that can like fit on the back of a truck, and you're like, what's holding that together?
Okay. And y'all just put it together and then take people's money and.
We have a crack team of unskilled 14-year-olds.
I'm starting to see your team. I'm starting to see who's behind Pastor Puppet for real. Who flew the helicopter?
Oh, well, funny story. I flew it. Yes.
Really? Do you have a license?
Yes, my friend Tom gave me flying lessons.
Oh.
Is he a pilot?
Yes. Yeah, pilot, actor,
Which Tom?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise
Well,
gave you.
How does that work? Because he's all into Scientology.
How do you think we got to space?
Man, the collaborations. I can't wait to see what you do next. Where you go.
His cameo in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mission Impossible 7. Out next summer, starring Pastor Puppet.
Starring you. You're in it with Tom Cruise. Just
Yes,
fighting
yes. I
people.
play his much younger, handsomer partner.
You play his partner, and okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just Tom Cruise and you.
Just us and Ving Rhames.
Is it like a buddy cop kind of movie? A little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Has that feel to it?
It has that 48 Hours Beverly Hills Cop feel to it, which is a real like left turn for the Mission Impossible franchise.
Much needed. Hey, well, thanks so much for taking, I don't know how many turns you took in the helicopter to get here, but we're really glad you were able to make it.
Thank you so much, Shampoo and PJ. I'm so glad to
Not
be
our
here.
names.
Jamie, Todd, PJ's girlfriend, guy who has not been kicked out.
No, he's still in here. He's still in here. Yeah. I'll make sure that he's seeing it.
He's going to get punched after the show.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
gonna get
yep.
he's gonna get a triple P after the
He's
show.
gonna get a triple P.
But not a triple
What PD
PS.
did earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, Pastor Puppet, thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, let's go, Maurice.
Wait a second.
Maurice.
You just did that.
What?
Who's the guy? Who's Maurice?
Maurice.
All right, Pastor Puppet, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give it up, everybody. Wow. What a guest. What a guy.
Always a character.
What a pastor.
He closed the door too. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that kind of etiquette.
I can't wait for that album.
I can't wait for it either. 3 days? 3 days before Easter?
You know what we should do now?
Checking in with Chase.
I'm over
All right,
here.
Sorry, we weren't in sync on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a sec. Wait a sec. We got a little song.
Oh.
Let's just get a taste.
Uh-oh.
Oh. On the fly. We're going to give my dad a mic.
Oh, he brought sheet music.
Oh, shoot.
I'm announcing, Shama's over there. He's giving my dad a mic.
All right, here
I
we
mean,
go.
you can see that.
Now this was written when you guys had no sponsor. I mean, nothing was your sponsor. So I think you have a sponsor now. Not anymore. Okay.
We had one for a few weeks.
So the lyrics still work. Okay. The emails have all been read. The jokes have all been told. Since nothing is our sponsor, then nothing has been sold. Our lady friends have names like Lauren and Lisbeth and Grace. Now there's just time for one more thing. It's time for checking in with Chase. J.O. baby is our hero.
Joel Osteen.
We're living our best life. I saw Pastor Puppet out in the hallway. He tried to cut me with a knife. This podcast makes me smile so much. It always hurts my face. There's only one more thing to do. It's time for checking in with Chase. We've got Jonathan with the Churchies and Mormon November and the worship song. We've got homeschool anthem and VeggieTales remix. How could any of this be wrong? I'm sorry, Lord. It's not me, it's them. We started in Petey's basement. Yeah, but look at us now. It's a 5-camera shoot on YouTube. God bless you, Chick-fil-A cow. We laugh when you're not supposed to. We fought the fight, we've run the race. Now just before our praise reports, it's time for checking in with Chase.
Man, how does that feel, Chase?
I will never deserve that song. Ever. It was beautiful. He deserves another round of applause for that.
Too good. Too good.
Bro. So all the talk about the Pastor Puppet like water park and stuff, it reminded me of the worst day of my life.
Okay.
You've got like 20,000 of them.
Yeah. So I went to Universal's water park like right after it opened, and I went with my friend and his family. It was like their family vacation, and we get there, and there's this giant water slide right when you get there, and so we start climbing up the steps, and it's about like 200 degrees, you know, and we're in line for 20 minutes. We get to the top. It's me, my friend, and his two cousins, right? One's like a teenage boy, the other's a little girl. Right before we're about to get on the water slide, I look over to his cousin, and we make eye contact, and then his eyes roll into the back of his head, and he just falls backwards, like stiff as a board. His head bounces off the concrete so hard that it echoes, right?
No, dude.
It was terrifying. So I jumped down. I was the closest one. I didn't save him. I'm not that quick. But I jumped down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Which is a dumb thing to ask someone unconscious. But so I'm down there, I'm like, are you okay? And then he wakes up really quickly by sitting up super fast. And he does this weird like inward breath. He was like, and he popped up in my face super fast. It scared me so bad that I panicked, and I was like, I hit him. And he knocked back out. And by that time, the lifeguard had made it over there, and she looked at me, she was like, why would you do that? And I was like stuttering, and I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, it was a reaction, I'm terribly sorry. And she was like, we don't have any way to get him down there. You're gonna have to carry him down those steps. And I was like, in this weather? Like, Florida. It's hot.
In Florida?
Yeah, in Florida, like in the middle of the day, and she was like, there's no other way. And I looked at him, like passed out on the ground. I looked at the water slide. Oh. And I looked at the lifeguard. I was like, it's not the only way. And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, I'm not carrying him down those steps. So I pick him up, and I'm carrying him like an infant. Like I'm holding his neck up and everything. And we get in this water slide, and it was the most fun water slide I've ever been on.
You did a water slide with an unconscious person.
Bro. So we get to the bottom, and we're like, spoosh, and we hit the water, and I feel like a superhero because I'm carrying him out like Baywatch. And I sit him down in the chair, and then the lifeguards are running over, and they call for the family over the intercom, and they get there, and they're like, what happened? What happened? And I left out the part where I hit him. And
of course.
The dad looks at me and he goes, how did you get him down here? And I was just like, I carried him down those steps. And he was like, in this weather? I was like, yeah, I'm a hero. And he reaches out and he shakes my hand, and I can tell he's about to say, Chase, you're a hero. Like, that's the words about to come out of his mouth. But he looks over my shoulder and he makes this weird face. And I turn around, and we're standing in front of the photo booth place.
Oh, no.
Where they sell the photos that they take of you on the water slide.
Oh, no, dude.
And on the giant TV screen is a picture of his son unconscious in my arms. Beside me is his little sister sobbing. The other side of me is my friend, and he's just got like this look of worry on his face.
Wait,
like,
so
man.
While you're like, this is the greatest thing ever, his
I
sister
have
was
the
sobbing?
biggest smile on my face in the picture.
And she's crying.
Crazy.
Like ear to ear, just so happy I'm on this water slide. And he looks at me, and I was like, like I didn't know what to say. And then I was like,
you got me.
Yeah, and that's the end of my story.
Golly, man.
I want to say that I felt bad for you before, but now you deserve getting punched by Pastor Puppet.
Yeah, no, I definitely. it was not uncalled
Hey,
for.
while we were loading up some stuff at the church, somebody stopped by.
The homeless.
A
The homeless stopped
houseless
by.
person stopped by and was talking to us, and then I went up to grab something. And what did he tell you?
So first of all, Shama was like,
Wait,
"Sorry, I'm in a hurry."
You don't have to go through the whole detail.
Shama does not look great in this story.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Hey, let's give the whole
Pastor
details.
Michael, no, hold on. I just was like, hey man, we're working right now. I think that's what I was like, hey, we're working right now.
And the homeless man goes, "But you're a man of God."
And I was like, we're at a church. I'm sorry, Pastor
But,
Michael. I was
so
like,
yeah,
wait,
Shama's gone.
yes.
Shama's gone, and the homeless
So,
man
go on.
looks at me and he's like, "Hey, I don't have a place to live. I got kicked out of my home. I don't have anywhere to go." And I was, "I'm very sorry." And I'm talking to him, and like 2 minutes later, he goes, "So can you give me a ride to my house?"
Whoa, where's the
I'm
consistency?
not falling for that again.
Oh man.
And then later, me and Tony are loading stuff up, and the same guy comes back. He had left.
Oh,
He
yeah,
comes
yeah.
back, and he goes, "Your name's Tony, right?"
Oh, Nate.
Oh,
nothing's
God.
more terrifying.
And Tony was like, "How do you know my name?" And he goes, "My name's Anthony. My brother's name is Tony."
Whoa.
And you were his brother. That's what we find out.
So
So
funny
is that guy a
Tony.
prophet?
I don't know. I wonder if he heard us yelling. I don't know. I don't know what
Probably.
happened. I don't. Hey,
Fair.
don't make it sound like. Don't. We all yell at each other. Hey, that's church stories, baby. Hey, this has been really great. Man, shout out to our guests. Shout out to Mr. Scott, and to Andrew and Robert and Chase and Tony who helped set up as well, and Pastor Michael and Josh who guested, and Pastor Puppet who flew away. I didn't even hear his helicopter. He put it in silent mode.
Yeah.
He put it in airplane mode.
But it's helicopter and airplane mode?
I don't know. I just made it. Oh, there it is. Oh, there
Is he coming back?
I don't know if he's coming or going. I don't know. I just heard it. I heard it leave. So we wanted. I don't know if we already did a Q&A. Do we want to do another Q&A or do we want to just wrap it up? Oh, let's do praise reports.
Yeah.
Let's do praise reports.
New praise reports.
What's your praise report?
My praise report is that I've been enjoying my 2 TVs lately. You know, video game on one TV, Jim Baker or Joel Osteen on the other one.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
how
just say. Which I mean, Joel Osteen video game tomato.
Yeah.
It's a choose your own adventure. Chase, do you have a praise? No, we don't let you have praise reports. Andrew, do you have a praise report?
I don't think so. I made it home from Atlanta last night at 2:00 in the morning. So
Hey, that's the way
that's
to
a
do
praise
it.
report.
The life of a musician.
Yeah, dude.
Chase, do you have a praise report?
No, I'm not gonna speak. I don't get praise reports. I'm not allowed to be happy about things. No, my praise report is this show. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
this was
super
fun,
fun, guys.
Yeah. My wife and I moved. Our family moved yesterday, so that's my praise report. We moved 4 minutes away from our house, which is a big move. Big move.
Almost seems worth it.
Yeah, I was wrapping stuff up in like the saran wrap, moving stuff, and people were like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Guys, I still want to protect my stuff for 4 minutes."
Does anybody who came here tonight have a praise report? They just want to scream out?
Yeah, scream a praise report out. Let's hear it.
Oh, you.
Yeah. Hey, good praise
Yo,
report.
that's
Good praise
Tony,
report.
everybody. Or not.
You guys just all miserable?
Hey, everybody's like, nothing in my life is worth praising God. Man, if that's it, then I think that's.
Well, real quick,
Yeah.
let's Chase, let's
Okay.
Let's get a round of applause for Shama and PD.
Yeah.
How about
putting on such a great show. Being the dudes.
Thank you.
Y'all shouldn't have.
Oh, please stop it. We're going on hiatus, but please stop it. Just kidding.
You'll never hear from us again.
Yeah, no. Hopefully. But this has been a ton of fun. Thanks so much for coming out. Shout out to our guests. Thanks, Mr. Scott, for performing that beautiful song. And
Thanks to Josh for letting us use the space.
shout out to Josh for letting us use the space. Everybody who made coffee, everybody who drank coffee. And I guess go back to listening to this show in your car or while you're cooking or however you listen to it without us rambling in a corner like this. All right. Hey, this has been that about that.
And this has been that about this, and goodbye. Woo!